welcome to episode 7 of Leyline High Rewind. And this one is going to be a Harvest Festival special.
Ooh.
Very exciting.
I'm very excited. I'm Gemma Arrowsmith.
I'm Thomas Nelstrop.
And I'm Susan Harrison.
Did you have Harvest Festival at school?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially, primary school. It was a big deal with all the old tin gathering and and pasta rummaging.
It was a big deal, but you know what? I haven't actually thought about it until this point where we were looking at this episode.
Same.
I just remember we used to go to a chapel during Harvest Festival and sing hymns, things like that at school.
That's a lot more dedicated than my school. It was mostly just collecting tins.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a hymn element to it, but I just remember them all the tins and stuff like sort of stacked up in a big kind of tower.
I seem to remember there were like craft projects where you had to sort of use construction paper and make like autumnal looking leaves or something, and they'd make
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
But other than
Love
that,
I thought in the 80s everyone did hymns at school. Was it just me?
No, we did like the Come and Praise book, which
Oh, yes.
if you're listening,
With the blue book with the
people dancing and the like what's it called, the transparent covering was always like peeling off. Well, in my school it was anyway. But yeah, like international listeners might not know about the Come and Praise book, but it was a real staple of 80s and maybe 90s primary schools, wasn't it?
yeah. Favourite hymn?
Ooh.
Oh, Lord of the Dance.
That's a really
that's
good one. I was
classic.
going to say when a knight won his spurs. That one.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is a great
When
one.
a knight won his
spurs in the stories of old. Absolutely brilliant, that one.
I'm always asking the question, who put the hump up on the camel?
Oh, it's a great
Taught
question.
the honeybee to dance?
Did you ever find the answer?
I think it was God.
Oh, probably.
I think that was the gist of it.
Actually, my favourite one was Autumn Days, which is quite relevant. Do you remember that?
Oh,
It was a
no.
less
Where the grass is
where the grass is jewelled and the silk inside a chestnut shell.
chestnut
Nice.
shell.
Yeah, it was like really jaunty. It was less religious, just more about like
Yeah.
nature. But it was a real banger.
And that's the first time since then that I've thought about the silk inside a chestnut shell.
Yeah. We need to stop and admire the silk inside a chestnut shell more often.
There was maybe our listeners can tell us what hymn this was. I can't remember, but there was a lyric in it which was "Stand to attention like a soldier," but I misheard it. And I was adamant it was "sit in a deck chair like a soldier." And I came home and I was going, no, it's "sit in a deck chair like a soldier." My parents were going, I don't think that's right. I don't think it can be "sit in a deck chair." Soldiers don't sit in deck chairs generally. But that was like one of my first ever misheard lyrics.
I love that. A laid-back soldier taking in the sun, as you do, mid-battle. So great.
I remember there was a boring one about going through a park. Go through the park, on into the town. It was very...
yeah.
The sun still shines on. And it was a very, very slow song.
Yeah.
So Harvest Festival, it's like one of those things that you think is going to be incredibly important in life, and then you leave school and it's never mentioned again. So, people say that about quicksand, don't they? Like quicksand and dinosaurs. You think they're going to be really relevant things because you learn about them you hear about them so much. Rattlesnakes, quicksand. You got to
Times
be
tables.
and then you leave.
Actual maths.
Yeah.
I do actual maths every day. I think maths is very relevant.
True.
But you're saying dinosaurs aren't relevant?
Well, they just don't come up enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, they don't come up enough. I used to love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I had so many plastic dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, they're great.
I still do. No, I don't. I don't have any plastic ones.
Oh, just real ones.
Just on my t-shirt and on my duvet cover.
So, before we get into, there are quite a few Harvest Festival episodes of Leyline High across the 30 years that it ran. We're looking at one of them from 1984 today. But before we do that, we've been having loads of listener correspondence, haven't we? So let's begin. Oh, we've had some fantastic stuff on Bluesky and Instagram and also to our email. So do get in touch with us, Bluesky at Leyline High Rewind, and we're at Leyline High Rewind on Instagram as well. Or email us, leylinehighrewind@gmail.com. Okay, let's start. Susan, you've got some great Bluesky.
Yes, so good. So this one is from Ricky BRS at Bluesky. And they say, I'm hearing some rumours that one of the writers is working on a Broadway version of Leyline High the musical. No. Beverly Shank was apparently in Edinburgh to see the student production to prepare for the Broadway show Rewrite, starring Meryl Streep as Ms. Talbot.
What?
No.
That's incredible.
I mean, the thought of a Broadway version just fills me with so much excitement, I can't handle it.
So you can corroborate, Susan, that Beverly Shank was seen in Edinburgh. So
yeah, it was her hat. It was Beverly Shank.
Her.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Well, it joins the dots, doesn't it?
Yeah. But I wonder how... Oh, yeah, heard rumours, yeah. I mean, yeah, the musical theatre world, rumours spread pretty quickly. So I can imagine you'd only need one, person that was in a sort of R&D session for the musical to kind of spread that. And I was so excited. I'm going to have to literally go to Broadway.
And do you know what they say about rumours?
Yeah.
Trumours.
I wonder what stories they'll pick out over the 30 years to sort of weave together into a musical.
Yeah, it's a great question. I guess there'll be probably a lot of flashbacks. Like if I was doing it, I'd maybe start with the most recent or the most modern. Or you could have a kid now, opening up an annual, a Leyline High annual,
good,
what's this? And then
Would it be Snotty Kid?
Yeah,
That'd be great,
Snotty Kid, but today. Yeah, exactly. The modern version of Snotty Kid opens it up. What is Leyline High? And then as they open it up, you spiral out into all the different decades.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I hope it's really high budget and there's loads of sort of gruesome special effects. Oh, this is going to be brilliant. Okay, well,
can you imagine the queues? They'll be going all around the block.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
because if one thing has become clear doing this podcast is there were a lot of American viewers.
Loads.
Initially, I would go on Broadway. Did Leyline High even sort of make much of a dent in America? But apparently, yes, loads of people have been in touch with us, saying they watched it on PBS or they had VHS tapes of it. There were sort of the best of episodes, which is interesting. So yeah, that's very exciting. Do you know, listeners, are you connected to the musical theatre world? Could you give us any more information on that? Were you in that R&D session? If it happened.
Are you Meryl Streep?
Are you Meryl Streep? Let us know. Okay,
so
and yes, there are a couple more lovely blue skies that we've had.
Shall I read another one?
Yeah.
So this one is from Chick Blaine. It's a long shot, but I've a feeling that Jackie Jackson's shop may have appeared in an episode of Celebrity Antiques Road Trip with two former members of Tight Fit. Someone bought a collection of glass eyes and B-Day.
Who's Tight Fit?
Yeah, that's what I was... Does anyone know?
Are they a band?
I don't know.
Feels like they're a band who sing very high.
So Tight Bee Gees style.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, sorry, I just Googled them. They're an English pop group who had several hits in the early 1980s, including number one for 3 weeks with their cover of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, guys, you have to Google them. The pictures are amazing. There's a hunky guy in inverted commas and two babes in inverted commas. Looks very funny. So anyway.
Hunky guy and two babes.
Let's bring it back to Leyline High. So, okay, that's really interesting. So Jackie Jackson's shop may have appeared in an episode of Celebrity Antiques Road Trip. Wow.
We need to check that out. We need to see if we can track that down.
That's really eagle-eyed. Thank you for that, Chick Blaine.
Lindsay on Blue Sky says, I'm so glad someone is finally podcasting about this classic TV show. I binge watched it on VHS while recovering from having my wisdom teeth out. And until this podcast launched, I thought I dreamt it. It's like if Dark Shadows met Saved by the Bell and had a baby who's British. audiofiction.co.uk. We in the last episode, we were discussing the sort of the spin-off books and short stories from Leyline High. And audiofiction.co.uk on Blue Sky says, nothing ever beat the Choose Your Own Leyline High kerfuffle series. So there were these Choose Your Own Adventure books, which were evidently named mostly to avoid trademark problems. Yeah, that's the kerfuffle, yeah. Particularly enjoyed number 14, The Never Classroom, which accidentally didn't ever end because they stuffed the page numbering. So, did you ever get one of those brilliant Choose Your Own Adventure, Choose Your Own Leyline High kerfuffle books in your school library. I think we had one, but it was very sort of pages falling out, I think.
And I actually remember that moment. You're walking down the corridor and you see Mr. Talbot, and you go, and he tells you to, because you're too scruffy, he says something like, you're too scruffy, you need to work on your appearance or something like that. And then you walk around, and then you see one of the other pupils, and you get bullied by them. And then you walk around, and it's Mr. Talbot again.
And you get stuck in a loop.
It's just this endless cycle, being bullied and then seeing the teacher. I mean, you probably, if it wasn't a choose your own adventure book on rails like that, you could tell Mr. Talbot that you'd just been bullied.
Yeah, good point,
true.
Yes.
True. Yeah, that's so funny. Relentless bullying.
We've had a wonderful email here from Izzy with an offer. This is very exciting. So here, I've been listening to your podcast since it launched, and I have to say I'm so glad to hear someone is talking about Leyline High again. I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid. We didn't have network TV at my house, so my mum used to take me to an indie video store down the street. A lot of people watching on VHS, as we've said. They had a bunch of old seasons on VHS, and I got obsessed. My dad probably got sick of me quoting every single episode of Series 2 by heart, so he somehow managed to find me a copy of the Leyline High point-and-click adventure game.
Wow.
Now, I didn't know this existed. It says here, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Windows 95 version, but it was called The 12 Terrible Trials of Terry Tabernacle, and it was really fun. Anyway, after my dad passed away a few years ago, I got a box of my things from his place, and the game was in there.
Oh.
So you've been able to...
That's treasure.
That's
so
such
amazing.
treasure. So I looked at it, and apparently it was a LucasArts game. And it was a huge failure for LucasArts. It was a big failure. So there were not many copies printed. So Izzy, you really do have treasure there, because they didn't print many copies. And apparently George Lucas himself said, I wish I'd never watched that god-awful British school show. It almost bankrupted us. It was what.
Oh no!
So that's if you ever played the 12 Terrible Trials of Terry Tabernacle, we're going to try and get our hands on a copy of it. I'd not heard of it until this email, and I've looked it up since, and it looks sort of...
It would have been very pixelated.
Quite ropey. But we're going to try and get our hands on it and play it.
I have some correspondence here. This is from Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous.
Hello, Anonymous. As an avid fan of Leyline High, I got wind of your podcast, Leyline High Rewind, brackets, that was in brackets, through the unofficial Leyline High online forum. I thought, why not give it a go? I love all things Leyline High. How bad could it be? Weird. I started listening from the latest episode 6 of Leyline High, brackets, It's a New You.
Yes.
You would think is in capitals, that by episode 6, the hosts of the podcast would have ironed out the cracks. Oh, that's weird. How'd you iron out a crack? How wrong could I have been? Oh no. The so-called hosts made 2 unforgivable mistakes in the space of half an hour. At 18:02, got time codes, Gemma Arrowsmith refers to the Victorian ghost boy as Tommy Pickles. Brackets, it's Joseph Pickles, which was left uncorrected by the second host, brackets Thomas Nelstrop. A slip of the tongue, perhaps, but no. At 14:40, another one, host Thomas Nelstrop, brackets, that's me, refers to the incredible Julie Dixon, brackets, there's a lot of brackets in this, Miss McMaynard as Jane Dougal. Oh, okay, so I referred to the incredible Julie Dixon as Jane Dougal. She would be turning in her grave, brackets, if she were dead. How can they call themselves fans of Leyline High? This is nothing but a cash-in. I'll be listening to episode 7 with my notebook and pen. Anonymous.
Oh, Anonymous. Well, you've got to have your critics.
You've got to have your critics.
Oh my God, yeah, that's... I mean, thank you, I guess. Thanks for the corrections,
Anonymous. We sincerely apologise for the mistake.
To the actor who plays Joseph Pickles, and also Julie Dixon, who I referred to as Jane Dougal. And also Anonymous.
If that is your real name.
Yeah, Anonymous.
No, I don't think that Anonymous would be their real name. Could you imagine if your name was Anonymous, how much confusion that would arise from that if you walk around in your day-to-day life?
So I've got an exciting little treat I found you two, which is, do you remember Fast Forward magazine, which was a magazine from back in the day? And they had a guest horoscope section one week, which was Leyline High horoscopes.
Get out of town.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought it might be fun to read out. Maybe I can read you guys your horoscopes and you can see how it might apply to your week. Because obviously...
I don't believe in horoscopes.
What?
But in that way, I am a true Leo, so...
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Classic Leo thing to say. Whee! Obviously, Gemma absolutely loves horoscopes and anything vaguely...
Super accurate.
Yeah, exactly. Right, okay, so here we go. Are you excited?
I'm mega excited.
Future?
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Mega excited.
Accurate future. Gemma, what is your star sign?
I am a Scorpio.
Great. Okay. This is going to tell you what is happening in your week ahead. Scorpio. Ever passionate Scorpios are in for a treat this week as you develop a new crush.
Yes.
It might, yes, mate. It might be on a mysterious new supply teacher who you catch levitating at break, or it might be on a new band you see on Top of the Pops whose record charts at number 0, just above the number 1 top spot. Don't be too hasty to tell your friends. They might not be able to see what you can see. Oh my God.
I love that. A position 0 in the charts.
A new supply teacher, that's quite risque, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess this was a while ago. You can be risque.
Gem, do you meet supply teachers on a regular basis?
Me? No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. So
wow.
it'll
could be a lucky day.
It'll probably be Top of the Pops then.
It
was out of the 2 options, I think it'll probably be Top of the Pops.
Or if I was a spiritual person, I might say, what could you map that onto? So someone who is standing in for someone else.
Oh, I see.
So maybe
this
you're going to do
clever.
a job and there'll be someone who's, recruited to that job last minute.
But also, wasn't this my fortune in what year? 1990?
Yeah, okay, 1991. Fair point.
Yeah, did that ever happen, Gemma? Do you remember any of that ever happening?
Did you ever fancy a supply teacher?
I'm trying to... Definitely not. I'm trying to remember.
But did you ever see one levitating, maybe?
No, that's a real disappointment because that would have made school a bit more exciting.
That would have been so great.
I love that. Can you describe the graphic that they've got there on the page, because it looks really good.
Yeah. What, for Scorpio specifically, do you mean?
No, for the whole thing.
Oh, for the whole thing. Yeah, it's sort of bright pink with luminous green around the edges.
That's it.
Some zigzags.
Ooh.
Sort of fluorescent green zigzags.
Imagine, listeners, the most 90s graphics you've ever seen, and then make them even more 90s. And then it's got, what I love is it's got then some really nice cartoony-fied versions of some of the cast at the time and the teachers. So
I
would say those graphics were quite nifty.
Ooh,
they're so nifty, that's right.
Snazzy.
Yeah.
Trendy.
Snazzy, I love it. Okay, well that's great. Tom, what about your star sign? Which one are you?
Can you guess from what I said earlier? I am a Leo.
Okay. So,
Grawr.
Leo, a new work opportunity will open up for you this week. Like all Leos, you're charismatic, that's true, and fun, and people, brackets living and dead, are drawn to you. Maybe you'll have an audition for the school play, or you'll get the chance to do some work experience on the reception desk of a local dance college. Just make sure you're polite to everyone you meet to avoid any potential curses being laid upon you. Ooh.
I'm always
I love
polite.
how
Any kind of audition. I'll take any kind of audition right now for a school play. I'll take that.
Yeah, now's your chance.
How specific it is that you'll get work experience working on reception of a local dance school. I like how, because one of the rules when you're writing a horoscope is to be as vague as possible. And so I love that they've been really specific. And
do you know what? There is a local dance school nearby.
Oh my God.
I might pop around.
Down there.
Pop on my resume.
Susan, what's yours?
Yeah.
Yes, what's
so
yours?
mine's Capricorn. Okay. As a practical and ambitious Capricorn, you've usually got your head in a book. This week, however, someone special has an important message for you, so stay alert. The message could come via words, a piece of paper smuggled into the canteen sticky toffee pudding, or even via semaphore. So put that Usborne Book of Vikings down and make sure you pay attention. Ooh, they really knew me there. Loved the Vikings.
Semaphore and Vikings, other things that you think are going to be really like an everyday occurrence that I need to know, and then it doesn't feature as much as you'd hope.
Yeah, true. And this one is less. It's a bit less overtly magical, isn't it? Not magical. What's the word? Otherworldly. Supernatural. That's the word. It's a bit but it's kind of hinting that there might be something that's coming your way.
Do you know what? We did have that government warning at the weekend.
Oh my God, you're right. That was absolutely terrifying. I was having a massive nap. Then,
oh no!
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, and I was waiting by my phone, and it was just the beep that I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I was waiting for that government warning.
Oh my God, yeah. People who are listening, who are not from the UK, we all had a government alert at like 3 p.m. the other day, and it was the loudest thing on earth.
It was just a test, though.
Just for
Nothing
fun.
to worry about.
Oh yeah, good point. Imagine if we just left it at that. No, didn't explain. Anyway, yeah. So that is horoscopes, and I thought, it's obviously great to hear ours, but maybe there might be listeners here and there along the way who might want theirs read out. Or So yeah.
And if you have any old copies, this is a long shot, I am aware of that. But if you have any old copies of Fast Forward magazine lying around, do have a little check in it. Go up into the loft, have a little check, and see if they've got the Leyline High. Because there was also like a comic strips in there sometimes, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of cross-pollination, wasn't there?
So have a little look and send it in to us, or take a photo and send it in to us, because we'd love to get a few more of those. That'd be brilliant.
How weird that they're called Fast Forward and we're called Leyline High Rewind.
Yes, well spotted. So the episode we're going to look at this week is the Harvest Scare-stival, which was an absolutely iconic episode from 1984. We start off seeing the pupils in Leyline High all bringing in their food for the Harvest Festival, which I'm sure we all remember so fondly. We meet Pippa Maddox. Do you remember that character?
Much beloved by some. She's quite good at, when monsters do arrive, she fights them. She stands up to them. It happens more than once. And Harvest Scare-stival is a great example. We've kind of picked this one because it's one of the most gruesome episodes ever.
Yeah,
as well.
Because you have Halloween, right, and all those hay bale rides. What are they called? Hay rides and things like that. So it does fit in.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, the sort of cozy horror.
Totally.
And as you say, it begins with I think a really familiar scene to a lot of people. It's Pippa desperately going through the cans in her kitchen, trying to find something that's sort of not too rubbish to give to Harvest Festival, but also not too good that you want to keep it. I think that's very relatable. Let's have a listen.
Stupid Harvest Festival. Why am I giving away food to the needy? I'm the needy. What could you possibly need? Need to get out of here, that's what.
Oh, come on now, Pippa. There must be some food we can give away. What about those bird's eye potato waffles in the freezer?
Dad, they want canned food, nothing perishable. Besides, I love bird's eye potato waffles. And they're handy to have around.
Well then, what about this butterscotch Angel Delight? That can go to the needy.
Well, that's the only good thing in here. Angel Delight is delicious. What we really need is some healthy food for the Harvest Festival. Remember, nutrition?
Is that a new chocolate bar?
Come on, the Krypton Factor's starting. Don't want to miss that.
I'll be brilliant at the assault course.
You get tired mowing the lawn, Len. Pip, you coming? Oh, come when I've found something worth giving away in these cupboards.
Fine, but don't blame me if you miss the observation round.
Haunted house pasta shapes? Well, they're not having those. Heinz baked beans with mini sausages? No way. Wait, what's this? No label. I wonder what's in it. Has it gone off? That's weird. The date just says 666. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. Here you go, Harvest Festival. You can have this.
Such a brilliant start to the episode already. I love all the different food items that are mentioned.
Yeah, there's a lot of product placement there.
This was a kind of a weird series for Leyline High, wasn't it?
Yeah, so basically, Leyline High's obviously on BBC, up until this point, but there's been one series where the BBC they wanna cancel it. So what do? They take it to the ITV, and ITV, as we all know, is commercially driven, and this is what the outcome of that is.
Oh, is that why? That makes so much sense.
So it's like Kenny Everett or Morecambe and Wise going to ITV. So did Leyline High for one series. So they were snapped up. They were cancelled. People had said it was sort of past its best by this point in the 80s, and so it was the audience figures were dwindling, and so the BBC dropped it. ITV immediately snapped it up, obviously. And it did this one series, and it's quite different. And you notice it immediately. They had to have breaks. They had to have an ad break, but they did so much product placement in the show itself.
So much product placement.
I just really remember enjoying that. Like as a kid, obviously I didn't realise it was to do with advertising, but I just remember, like the bird's eye potato waffles, they're waffly, versatile. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, there's my favourite foods, getting a name check. It's exciting.
Familiarity of it.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Felt like a lot of the sort of Leyline High action figures that you could get. See, in the past, they weren't allowed to show... They sold them, but you weren't allowed to show them in the show itself.
Yeah.
But it felt like suddenly for this series, suddenly in the show itself, there were all these little people... You'd have a scene where they'd start by playing with action figures, then it would pull out. And the action figures wouldn't even be related to what was happening in the scene. It's just to sell more
And it's so
toys.
crazy that they would be like so referential in that way. And also like those camera moves of zooming in and zooming out of these products is kind of... It's really on the nose, isn't it? Yeah,
because it would be like there'd be a random close-up shot of like a particular bike and like what it was called. It would like zoom in on the sort of the handlebars and show this particular type of bike. It's so obvious that they're taking money for it. It was so obvious.
I love the mention of the Krypton factor as well, but I actually never watched that. Did you guys watch that when you were little?
Well, it was another ITV show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was loads of cross-promotion like that in the series. Susan, you missed out. It was amazing. They had an assault course. They had to there was Steve Coogan did... Steve Coogan did... You can watch... Listeners, you can go and watch this on YouTube. He would do little comedy sketches, and then you had to remember any continuity mistakes and things like that. And then there would be... Later series, they'd have to land a plane in a simulator. It was excellent, the Krypton factor.
This was like the adult version of Funhouse, wasn't it?
Yes.
You use your body and your brain if you want to play the game.
Similarly, it had an amazing theme tune. And another thing about this one ITV series is I think it was a lot gorier. I think they managed to get away because it wasn't the BBC.
Yeah, there weren't all those rules and regulations.
Exactly. It was a lot more gory, and this is a perfect episode to choose because of what happens later on.
Yeah.
It's very gruesome.
Well, on that note, let's go to the next scene, shall we? The next scene is set in the assembly hall, and of course we see one of our all-time favourite characters, Mr. Talbot. Here we go.
All right, settle down, settle down. Now that you've all brought your tins to the front of the hall, we shall sing the school song.
Integrity and dignity and learning boring things. Oh no, what's my can doing? It's rumbling. Oh, I bet it's going to explode a load of fermented plums all over us, and I'll be known as Plum Girl for the rest of my time here. Great. It's huge! It's a monster! Is it made of corn on the cobs?
Free at last from my cursed can, and now I must consume.
Hey, it's sucking up all the other cans. It's getting bigger.
Give me your nutrients.
That was such a gory and impressive scene, don't you think?
Yeah.
And such a shock that sort of comes out of just, a kind of run-of-the-mill kind of assembly, right?
Yeah, exactly. It really takes you back as well to how boring assemblies were in those days. Yeah, and obviously the song here is very Come and Praise from the Come and Praise books, which we mentioned.
It's crazy that they're all on point about that sort of subversive line about learning boring things.
Yeah, changing the lyrics. I know.
We should explain what the monster looks like.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, listeners, go and watch it on YouTube. It's a much shared clip on YouTube. But it feels like ITV have thrown quite a lot of money at this series, right? It felt like the budget was quite higher than the usual BBC series, because it's like a monster made out of corn cobs. The art department have done an amazing job, and then it starts sucking in all of the other food from the cans and getting bigger, and there's this brilliant shot where it bursts through the roof and it cuts to like outside the school, and I think they must have had a miniature of Leyline High because it kind of bursts through the roof. It's brilliant for its time, and I think it stands up even now, doesn't it?
I think it definitely does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit like in Labyrinth, like all of the effects being kind of real as opposed to CGI. It really does stand the test of time. And I remember when I first saw it, feeling like I could just imagine it invading my house. It was such a brilliant, like...
Shuffling along on its little leaves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the little leaves at the bottom, yeah.
And do you know what? I think that's Arthur Lately, that's Mr. Talbot, doing the voice of the Corn of the Cob Monster, because he did do a lot of voiceovers, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a big voiceover guy. Almost certainly
he did Ian and the Magic Football Boots, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which was an early programme to try and get kids into football, which kids are already into football, aren't they?
Yeah, it was a bit redundant, wasn't it?
But also, knowing Arthur Lately, I think he would have insisted that he did that voice, the voice of the Corn Cob Monster, and pocketed an extra fee for it as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
And he does go a bit crazy with it, but you can tell it's still him.
I reckon from his point of view, he was like, this is a chance to really show my range. He went full sort of Shakespearean, you know.
But his range is still him.
Yeah.
It's always still him. We've got to do the episode where he plays 13 different doppelganger headmasters.
So good.
The Doppelmaster, I think it's called. We've got to do that one because he, as we've said before, he insisted that they were all really like 13 distinct characters and they all had like a different walk and a slightly different accent. But so we're gonna have to do that episode one day.
The other thing about this episode that is incredible is, of course, you just when you think it can't get more scary, it does. When the Corn of the Cob Monster eats poor Margaret, the dinner lady.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll snatch your milk.
Yeah, of I'll
Margaret.
snatch your milk fame, yeah.
She manages to get a bit of a catchphrase in as she dies.
Yeah.
she
gets halfway through
munched into smithereens.
Yeah. So we should say, like, her there's a full decapitation. Like, her head is pulled off and it drops in the custard.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really gruesome. And this is, like, one of the reasons... Because there are several Harvest Festival episodes throughout the 30 years that Leyline High ran. But we've chosen this one because of this particular bit. Because her head's pulled off, it drops in the custard, and you, like, literally see blood seeping into the custard so it goes pink. I mean, it's just...
And it's bobbing along in the bowl. It's sort of face down and then it rolls
turns around, yes.
It's just horrible.
Yeah, for ages after that, I couldn't eat or drink anything pink.
I imagine.
Pink ice cream was off the menu. It was just, it just seeps into your subconscious, doesn't it?
Do you think they did that bit with her head? Is that like a foam head, or did they do it with camera angles and she did it?
I think they did it with camera angles.
So you think that was her, the actor?
I think it was her, the actor, initially. And then it's the foam head when it's slightly further away, isn't it? If you zoom in.
I think you're right.
Yeah, when it's sort of bobbing along, it's the foam head. And then when it turns round, I don't know how they do that, but that's her. Because she's sort of like, her lips are trembling.
She's probably got it all up her nose. Yeah.
Denise Wembley, who played Margaret, the dinner lady, we need to look this up because I'm not sure. Did she want to leave the series?
Yeah, apparently I did look her up actually. Yeah, and she was really keen for early retirement. And she just went and lived on I think it was in Lanzarote. She just had a lovely little time, well, not little time, a lovely time, retired, knowing that she'd done this incredible work. She wasn't really bothered. I think she fell into acting. No pun intended about falling into things. But yeah, I think she sort of fell into acting. Like maybe she was an extra at first and then she just was giving off such dinner lady energy that like she got cast. But no, she's she comes across as a really nice lady. She's still around.
She does occasionally do like student gigs and things like that. Like they'll bring her along and she'll do "I'll snatch your milk" and then she'll leave, get a quick paycheck.
Nice. Okay, brilliant. So it wasn't that she was leaving under duress. Maybe that's why she went out in such a spectacular blaze of glory in this episode then.
Yeah.
Because it is definitive, isn't it? Like, even in a show like Leyline High, it's hard to come back from having your head pulled off and dropped in custard.
True, you can't come back from that. Yeah.
You know, even in a show where they've reanimated dead headmasters and things like that.
Yeah.
Victorian headmasters.
Yeah.
It's pretty tricky to come back from a full-on decapitation. So maybe she was keen for that to be really a definitive exit. Interesting.
So, yeah.
I felt sorry for Mr. Talbot in this episode because actually I remember when the roof lifts off, I remember thinking, how are they going to fix? I was so invested in the programme and I believe in the reality of the school so much. How are they going to fix the roof?
But obviously they don't show it.
No, it's just fixed by the next episode. But Mr. Talbot, it's not the roof he's worried about, as we see in these final scenes. Let's play the clips. It's such a shame.
Settle down, and you, Phillips. Just because there's a marauding corn-on-the-cob monster in the school doesn't mean we should let our standards slip. No fizzy drinks in the assembly hall. We've just had new flooring put in.
Sorry, sir. My mum says I'm addicted to Tizer. Oop, sorry, sir.
Now look what you've done. It's all over the floor. No, it burns!
It's the fizzy pop. It destroys it.
Of course. Unhealthy food. The only thing that can spoil a harvest festival. Quick, grab your cans. Shake them and aim. Fire!
No! The chemicals, the E numbers, my beautiful nutrients, all gone! No!
Who knew Tizer could kill a huge corn-on-the-cob monster? That's interesting, isn't it? Because ITV are clearly setting up all of these junk food things as like the saviour to all of their issues, but corn on the cob is evil.
Yeah, healthy food is the bad guy.
Yeah, I felt
rescued by junk food.
Yeah, it's so funny. I felt kind of validated because my parents were so into healthy food and stuff. So watching this was like, no, there is a place for junk food. We should have those microchips more often.
Is the kid that shakes the Tizer, is that Snotty Kid?
Sorry, sir. My mum says I'm addicted to Tizer.
He sounds snotty.
It's not, but that kid does sound also like they might need to have their nasal passages cleared.
Maybe they're related.
Yeah.
We've talked about Snotty Kid before.
We did when we played the Top Trumps, Gemma. He had his name, didn't he? What was that?
What was his name?
Oh. I was as surprised as you that he had a name.
It just wipes. All I can think of is his name is Snotty. It's like it's on his birth certificate.
Yeah, bless him.
We're gonna have letters in about that.
No.
Oh God. He's clearly passed on his cold to that other actor anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think with the other little kid, it's not intention. It's not part of their character.
No, it's the kid that shakes the Tizer. He's just. I think the actor was snotty.
It's great that they just managed to get that little Tizer advert in there.
Do you notice how he turns the can? He turns the can towards, because it's really obvious, I think. And then there's like a cutaway shot as well. It's so obvious.
I wonder if there was a hierarchy of how much these products paid to get advertised, and if Tizer was top billing because it defeated the monster right at the end of the episode. And I wonder if like that made kids go out and go, we need to get some Tizer now.
The melting scene, though, when it's defeated, how good are the special effects in that? When it's sort of the Tizer sprays and the corn cobs start to sort of disintegrate and melt, and all of the other food. Yeah. It's brilliant. It's such a good effect.
Good. I also really like Pippa in this episode. Yes. The character of Pippa, that she's the one that like takes action and destroys the corn cob monster. She was pretty cool.
She's a
remember
brilliant
thinking
character.
that.
Cool.
There's an episode where there's like a character that is both a werewolf and a vampire at the same time, and do you remember that one? And it's and because the character, one of the teachers, it turns out to be like a were-vampire, as it turns out.
That's right. That's right.
And they grow teeth, and you go, oh, it's a vampire, but then they grow the fur as well. And Pippa defeats them as well. She's always sort of on her front foot. She's a really good character.
Yeah.
And this is the precursor to Buffy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
So, you know.
Buffy.
Way before, yeah.
We did it first.
So, she's a pretty awesome character. Listeners, did you like Pippa when you were growing up? Was she one of your favourites? Do write in with your favourite characters. We love, because we can do some character spotlights, can't we?
Oh,
We'd
yeah,
love to
that'd
do
be
that.
great. Yes, please.
But poor Mr. Talbot.
I know, and his flaw. All he's worried about is his flaw.
Always worried about his
I imagine him
flaw.
sort of coming and, you know, do you remember those big sort of floor buffing machines?
Yeah, what are they called? Zambonis or something. What are they called?
Oh, good knowledge.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what they call them.
How do you know this?
Is that what they're called? Or is that ice? That's ice rinks, isn't it? I don't know. You know those machines?
Definitely know what you mean. Yeah.
Imagine him coming back late at night and
Oh yeah,
and
buffing the floor on his own.
rejuvenating his floor.
He's the real Buffy of the piece.
Hey!
So yeah, there's this. They sometimes actually in this ITV series in particular, sometimes on the BBC, but particularly in this one series that they did on ITV, there would sometimes be a little coda after the credits. There'd be like a little short scene after the credits, and ITV really lent into that. And in this episode is maybe one of my favourites with Mr. Talbot. So let's have a listen to that.
My assembly hall flooring! Look at it, it's all sticky, buckled and warped by fizzy pop. You'll all have a letter home about this, and, Miss McMaynard, leave a reminder on my desk to advertise for a new dinner lady. Oh, and Miss McMaynard, fish Margaret's severed head out of the custard while you're at it.
I love that line. Fish Margaret's severed head out of the custard while you're at it. Just as if it's,
Normal.
just one of these things.
I suppose it is at Leyline High, isn't it? It's a fairly normal occurrence.
Yeah, I
There's a
guess
dinner
so.
lady's head in the custard.
Yeah.
Oh dear, there's another
Fishy
haunted
tales.
amulet. But this is a truly top-notch Harvest Festival episode. We hope it's given you some nostalgia, listeners. Would you like us to cover any of the other Harvest Festival episodes? Let us know, because there are quite a few.
Yeah.
They often do involve like evil cans of food. There are variations on a theme, but let us know do write in. Let us know your favourite Harvest Festival episode of Leyline High. We always love to hear that.
And perhaps you've got very specific memories of Harvest Festival, as we have. Let us know about those memories.
Absolutely. Anything you want to share with us from your Leyline High nostalgia-fueled memories, please do get in touch.
Well, that about wraps it up, doesn't it, for this
It does.
episode? Please tune in next episode, because we're going to be talking about the Leyline High curse.
Yes.
It's going to be a Halloween special, and we're going to be talking about all things cursey.
Yeah. Now, listeners, I'm sure you know about the Leyline High curse. We're going to go into do a big deep dive into it in our next episode, but it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. We're not going to be specifically looking at an episode of the show. We're going to be looking at all of the weird things that have happened to cast and crew while they're on the show and after they left the show, which has all been given the umbrella term the Leyline High curse. So that will be our Halloween special coming in October. Do get in touch in the meantime. We are on social media. We are on Bluesky at Leyline High Rewind, and the same on Instagram. We love to hear from you.
We absolutely do. So that wraps it up from us today. I've been Susan Harrison.
I've been Thomas Nelstrop.
And I'm Gemma Arrowsmith. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next month.
Bye.
Lay, 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 lay.